Welcome in along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo, and this is your Christian Wilkins NFL Draft Profile, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite. Mike, coming into the season, much like Ed Oliver, we said, look, Christian Wilkins, very good prospect, a solid run defender, need to see more from him as a pass rusher. He did that this past year, but is it enough to get him into the top 15 mix among prospects?
To me, I don't really see him as a top 15 type of player in this class, but in my opinion, he's one of the safer prospects in terms of his production on the football field is already at an elite level. His body for the NFL, he's already a plus athlete. I think it will translate well. I'm just not sure. I hate to call a guy capped out, but I think what you see is what you get with him. You're not going to get this insanely athletic defensive tackle. He's not in the Ed Oliver category in terms of athleticism. He's not in the Jerry Tillery category in terms of production as a pass rusher. He's just solid in both regards, and I think that's the kind of player you're going to get. Still worth a first rounder in my eyes, but I just don't see the high end there.
I want to start by looking at those pass rush grades because he played a lot as a true freshman back in 2015. He was a solid player, but pass rush grades in the 60s and 70s, and then this year he jumps up to 91. So that is encouraging. You still like to see that bigger body of work when it comes to just getting after the quarterback. Now, part of this was his playing multiple roles. There was a point at Clemson where they didn't even have edge defenders, and he had to fill that role. He was playing contain a little bit. So, I mean, he has played a little bit out of position at Clemson. Yeah. They put him, back on the interior last year, and he did succeed. So it is a question mark as far as will that translate, but it was at least moving in the right direction last year.
Yeah, that was 2016. Over 2/3 of his snap were literally as a stand-up outside linebacker there. He was coming off the edge, which did not play to his strengths. But he had like a 75 overall grade that season. Still pretty impressive when you consider he was a 300-pound edge defender. So from that perspective, you love to see that as a year has passed. But I just think he only has a couple pass rushing moves. Got a lot of play out of the bull rush, a lot of play out of his rip move there at Clemson. He kind of just overpowered the offensive lineman there. And one of the biggest things about him is he's going to be 24 years old his rookie season. He's already, a grown man. He kind of looked like a grown man going against boys there at times at Clemson. So I'm not sure what his high end is, but I think you draft Christian Wilkins, you're going to be getting a good football player that can disrupt against run and pass, and I think that still has value.
Yeah, when we stack up the run defense grades last year, only Quinnen Williams and Ed Oliver had higher grades. And like we said, even when he was playing out on the edge, there were times, Lamar Jackson was the quarterback and he had to play contain on Lamar, and he didn't look out of place trying to play contain against one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the NFL. So you can kind of see that ability to move around the defensive line, play the run extremely well, and then anybody drafting Christian Wilkins has to hope that this development as a pass rusher is going to continue at the next level. For us, a late first-round pick. Your biggest concern, though, is probably just the age.
It's the age and the lack of length. And you saw it show up on tape. He just didn't land that first strike into opposing offensive linemen in the pass game a lot. He was kind of playing always off the edge. Never really got his body completely clean because he doesn't have the length to use his hands, get into offensive lineman's body. They were the ones landing the first strike. So that's the biggest worries for me.
So there you have it. It's your Christian Wilkins NFL Draft Profile, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite.